A cilia electrica is a different chair from which a criminal condemned to death is killed by a powerful electric current. The electric chair was used again till 1976, when firing squad mass killings took the place as its primary form of execution. Million more people have been executed on the spot, brutalized, or disappeared completely for denouncing Marcos' 20-year autocratic government. So based on our studying the lessons in the third quarter, these factors like resistance, voltage, and current, it affect the people by being executed, and it manipulated by electric chair operators in order to execute someone. So if we saw someone who accidentally electrocuted, the first thing to do is to do the first aid. And second, you can call 911 or have someone else to call when you can't. Third, turn off all source of electricity immediately. Lastly, once the person is away from the electric source, check the person's pulse and see if the person is breathing. No, we are not in favor to bring electrocution to the proposal of death penalty.
I reiterate the swift passage of a law reviving the death penalty for crimes specified under the Comprehensive Dangerous Act of 2002.
Death penalty is a kind of severe punishment to those people who have committed serious crimes. The first established death penalty laws date as far back as the 18th century before Christ, in the Code of King Urabi Bibilon, which codified the death penalty for 25 different crimes.
So how severe should a crime be to be given a death penalty? Well, if a person has committed either treason, espionage, murder, large-scale drug trafficking, or attempted murder of a witness or court officer, then death penalty would be a viable punishment. Death penalty is not a reasonable punishment for people because there is no hard evidence that crime rates have lowered in certain countries where death penalty is a viable punishment. The death penalty for me is inhumane and unlawful because it ruins the whole point of our laws against murder and homicide. And finally, because death penalty is sometimes unfair and inaccurate, because there were a lot of people sentenced to wrong deaths despite being truly innocent, because they were up against people with higher power.
Life is important. Every person is made in the image of God. This means that every life is sacred and all people are worthy of respect. We are called to care for all human life.
The death penalty violates the most fundamental human right, the right to life. Everyone's right to life shall be protected by law. This right is one of the most important of the Convention, since without the right to life, it is impossible to enjoy other rights. No one shall be condemned to death penalty or executed. Everyone has the right to live.
For all we know, our country has so many dents. The Philippines' political system is one of it. The Philippines has a faulty justice system. Knowing that fact, if they will implement death penalty here, so many innocent lives would be affected. Our justice system here is blatantly unfair. Laws, courts, agencies generally favors the rich and the powerful. Even during the time death penalty was available in our country, the Supreme Court revealed that 72% of those convictions were erroneous. That means those 72% could be innocent lives.
Furthermore, there is no direct interrelationship between criminality and the death penalty in statistics and sociological studies. For instance, the crime volume decreased after the death penalty was abolished. However, the crime volume specifically for rape increased when the Philippines executed convicts in 1998 to 2002, according to Shell Jokno. Therefore, there is no amount of punishment that will deter and scare the people, criminals, and syndicates if they knew they could go around officials, cops, judges, and even the warden. If studies and statistics show that the death penalty is not deterrent to crime, then we don't need to push through with it.
Many who are accused of crimes are imprisoned until they die. Unlike the death penalty, however, a life sentence without parole allows for correction of errors or the discovery of new facts. A life without parole is much cheaper, as a life sentence without the possibility of parole means that those convicted crimes are imprisoned until they die.
There are other ways or kinds of punishment that you can give to a person who committed crime, not just death penalty. Every day, men, women, even children awaits execution on death row. Whatever their crime, whether they are guilty or innocent, their lives are claimed by a system of justice that values retribution over rehabilitation. As long as a prisoner remains alive, he or she can hope for rehabilitation or to be relieved if they are later found to be innocent.